Hey YouTube, Weiss Schwarz 97 here, coming at you with a Fate Zero deck profile. It's on red-green. I think Fate Zero is a pretty cool deck right now because it seems like anti-meta against a lot of the English decks. It has a lot of good matchups, so I'm just gonna do the deck profile and explain things as I go along. So 4 of this archer, it becomes 4K when it's by itself and can't be reversed, so it's pretty much the beater for the deck, the main one. Pretty much you just try to get these and ride it as long as you can until level 1. 4 of this stock Suicider. This card is really good against bakemono level 0 because they have the senjou that becomes 4K by herself with hand encore, and regular Suiciders can't get around that sort of card, but this can because it sends it to stock when it's reversed. So it's really good against Bake, and it can help push climaxes further down. Like if the second card your opponent triggered was a climax, you can run into something, and it puts their climax as the first card, and another card, the one you reverse, as the second. So they have to pay more stock in order to get rid of that climax, so it can make your opponent have to work to be better at the game. So yeah. 1 of this Saber, when your opponent has 3 or less other characters, she becomes a 3/5 beater. So because your opponent is probably not bad and doesn't play a million characters at level 0, she's usually just another beater for the deck, but your opponent could try to like get over her and overextend, which will help you win, so she is a good beater. 3 of this Tokiomi. This card is good. It gives 500 global to all servants? Royalty, my bad. So it gives 500 global to all royalty, and it can help keep hand size and pay out climaxes if you trigger too many before like refresh. And also if you have like a lot of stock then at level 3, if you didn't set up correctly and didn't get many 3s, you can salvage them back with this, which is cool. So yeah. 2 of this Saber Brainstorm. It's a spammable Brainstorm and pretty much like the only Brainstorm worth running in Fate Zero. Even if there isn't, I can't even English right, if there even is another Brainstorm. But yeah, so pretty much you just pay 1 for every climax, give 2,000, so basic spammable Brainstorm. And then 2 of this Waiver. It, on play you can pay 2 and search for the command seal, but its main use is for clock bonding for the level 1 rider, the 117K vanilla. I like clock bonds because if your opponent's good and like they keep you at 0-5, then you can clock, draw 2, and then clock bond with this and be put at level 1. So it can get around your opponent's good plays, which is always nice. So I think clock bonds at level 0 are good. And then when it clock bonds into 4 of this rider, it's just a 117K vanilla. Yeah, it's pretty much, these are the same card. It's just that TD art, and that's a proxy. So, yeah, but it's just a 117K vanilla, and it's the biggest thing Fate Zero has at level 1 that we play. Anyways, I don't know about the rest of the set. And then 4 of this 105K, but it becomes 6K if your opponent has 4 or more. So, it's a pretty easy to fulfill 106K because at level 1, your opponent having 4 characters really isn't strange at all. So it's a pretty easy 104K, but if your opponent doesn't have like any assists, then they can run over this card pretty easy if they just have 3 characters or something. And then 3 of this level 1 Suicider. If you play a red climax, then it suicides, or it's a cost 1 or less Suicider, or cost 0 Suicider. My bad.
Cost 1 or less. Yeah.
Cost 1 or less. Yeah. So this thing can kill like 2 1s, and it can kill stuff like the that regular level 1 Suiciders can't, like the asuna, the marker asuna. So this card is really good against like sword art and anything that sets up a strong level 1, and it has hand encore, but you need like a red climax to do it, and it's only 4 or 5. But this is a really good card because pretty much your climaxes are red, except, well, this build is playing it a little different, but get to that later. And then 2 of this Lancer backup, pretty much a 2/5 backup. Like 13 level 1s I think, and onto level 2s. 1 of this Lean, she is just a 218K, but when you play a red climax, on attack, you can discard a card to salvage a character, so before refresh it can help you set up how your hand and like get rid of climaxes. And yeah, it's just another climax combo. 2 of this global 1K to all servants. Yes. Also, it has a climax combo that in this build we choose to run. A lot of builds don't play as climax combo, but we're just testing it out right now. It seems like it can be pretty cool. So yeah, but otherwise it's just a global 1K assist, which is pretty good since this build can't run level assists. So yeah. And then these command seals, which are just a 2-1 event backup for 4-5. Really big, so it's a pretty good backup. Only problem being that it is an event. And then for level 3s, 4 of this rider. This is pretty much, in my opinion, like the best level 3 Fate Zero has. It's really good. It on play, or not on, yeah, during the turn it's played, when it reverses the character, you can pay 1 to send it to clock. So a clock shooter's a really consistent, really good game ender, and it gains 500 attack for each of your opponent's rested characters. So commonly it'll be like 11k, but it can be like 12, so it can get pretty big. And in your encore phase, you can pay 2, send this and another character to memory, and they come back during your draw phase, I assume. Yeah, so this card can like be kind of like pseudo encore because your characters won't die, but at level 3 you gotta be kind of careful sometimes because you will take more damage when your characters are gone. So yeah, but this card is really good. And then 4 of this archer. This is the only healer for the deck. Heals on play, and it has a climax combo with the 2k1. You can discard it when your opponent plays a climax. You send their climax to waiting room, and this gains 5500. But your opponent doesn't have to have a climax for you to use it, so you can just kind of make him big, and he'll be like 15-5 before assist on your opponent's turn, meaning usually he'll survive, pretty much guaranteed, especially in the English meta. But this card is also really good against SAO, because if they try to go the Silica combo, you can kind of just stop them there, and that can make them lose the game. So this card is really good against Sword Art. And for climaxes, 4 gates, nothing special there. 2 2k1s that combo with the archer, and then 2 of this gold bars that combos with the 1k assist global. We're just testing this out right now. Otherwise, if you don't like this card, you can always take them out for 2 more of this, which is how a lot of decks play it, because red climaxes have some sort of consistency. But gold bars is a pretty okay trigger. So yeah, that is the Fate Zero deck. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a comment on how you feel you try to make the deck better. Yeah, subscribe. This was Weiss Schwarz 97. Bye, YouTube.